Breaking news. So guys, there's something happening in the global oil market. Do you know that oil rises as fading hopes of quick end to Iran war reignite sharply? It reignites worries. Nigeria's aviation sector faces problem, a heightened safety and operational concerns due to jet fuel supply shortage. Concerning this, amid already soaring oil prices. So if you haven't seen me on your FYP before, I present news and I analyze it for you people to understand. So there is global oil markets. The global oil markets currently are once again on edge as crude oil rises deeply, sharply with tensions around Iran, United States and Israel. With all this that is happening, this is driven by fading hope of a quick end to escalation conflicts involving Iran. Traders say renewed fears of prolonged instability in the Middle East are currently reigniting supply concerns, and the impact is already being felt far beyond the trading floors. Guys, this problem is actually big. No matter how little you are looking at it, it doesn't even make this problem small because it's affecting many countries of the world, not just Iran, not just United States. Benchmark crude oil prices climbed as investors reacted to signals that the war may drag on longer than previously expected. Currently, the news has it that the key concern is not just fighting itself, but what it means for global energy flows, especially through critical routes like the Strait of Hormuz, which handles a large share of the world's oil shipments. Guys, this market problem, the supply, the market had briefly priced, in the possibility of the escalation, the matter, but the optimism is now fading. Instead, attention has shifted back to the risk of disrupted supply. These tighter investors and sustained high energy costs across global markets, and the ripple effects are already being felt strongly in Africa's largest economy, Nigeria, where the aviation sector is under problem, mounting pressure. There is a serious case in Nigeria. Nigerian airlines are facing what industries describe as a dual crisis: soaring global oil prices and severe jet supply constraints. Jet fuel, also known as aviation turbine, that fuel is one of the most sensitive products in the global oil chain. Looking at it, and when crude prices rise, aviation costs often spike even faster. It's not just that fuel is going to rise, the aviation cost is going to spike. Already, Nigerian carriers are struggling with availability issues. Now, unexpectedly, there is this unpredictable pricing and rising operational costs that are forcing difficult decisions about flight schedules and routes. Aviation experts warn that the situation is currently creating heightened, safety and operation risk, because if there is not enough, oil, there is not enough crude for the oil, for the fuel, for the air flights, airplane to use, it might be having heightened problem, which is a very big risk. When fuel becomes expensive and difficult to secure consistently, airlines are forced to adjust the planning cycles, delay maintenance schedules, or even operate under tighter margins. You get all of these informations, all of this which increase pressure on flight operations and crew management. Recent industries reports and even suggest that some airlines have been reduced flight frequencies, adjust schedules due to fuel uncertainty, while others are facing challenges in maintaining stable supply contracts. The result is growing concerning over operational reliability and in sectors already dealing with inflationary pressure and foreign exchange constraints. Talking about the political term, the jet fuel shortage doesn't just raise prices. They can disrupt the entire flight network. Airline may be forced to, cons- con- um, consolidate routes, reduce seat availability, or even cancel less profitable flights altogether. So that has a direct impact on passengers, business, and cargo movements across the country. Looking at what is happening, aviation union and industry stakeholders have also raised safety concerns about this issue, warning that operational stress, including a delay in refueling, tighter turnaround times, and staff fatigue from schedule disruptions could become the risk factor if conditions persist. All these dimensions will actually become problem if this condition of no oil or oil shortage or oil supply shortage continue. So at the center of crisis is Nigeria's heavy reliance on imported refined petroleum products, including aviation fuel. Despite being one of the Africa's top crude oil producers, they still lack fuel. They still lack fuel for plane. This structural imbalance means domestic prices are highly exposed to global shocks, and those shocks are being amplified by ongoing geopolitical tensions in Middle East. Oil makers are now behaving less like short-term reaction and more prolonged structural risk, environments. Even believe disruptions, brief disruptions in supply routes or production facilities can trigger immediate price spikes, because which this quickly flows into transportation, logistics, and consumer costs worldwide. For airlines, especially in emerging markets like Nigeria, the challenge is particularly severe.